RK English India. And you see, CHSC 2026 ର କିଛି ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ପିଲେ ମୁଁ ଠିକ୍ କରିଛି। ତ ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ସର୍ଟ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଗୁଡ଼ା ଆସୁଛି ଏଗୁଡ଼ାକୁ ଯଦି ତମମାନେ ଇଚ୍ଛା କରିବ ଟିକେ ଲେଖିଦେବ ନଚେତ ବାରମ୍ବାର ଶୁଣିଲେ ବି ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ମନେ ରହିଯିବ। I have just collected 136 questions and its answers. ତେଣୁ ମୁଁ କେବଳ ଆଜି ପ୍ରୋଜ୍ ପିସ୍ର 57 questions ସିଲେକ୍ଟ କରିଛି ଫର୍ ସର୍ଟ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ସ। ଆଉ ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ସବୁ ଦେଖିବ ପିଲେ 30 ରୁ 40 वर्ड्स भितर आमको ये आंसर देवाक पड़ो। तेणु तो आउ गोटे भिडियो रे मु कहबी हाउ टू राइट डाउन, हाउ टू मेक ए फॉर्मेट फॉर द आंसर। किंतु बर्तमान मु कहूँ बोले केवल क्वेश्चन एंड इट्स आंसर्स। तो बारंबार जदि आपको तुम ध्यान दे शुणव ताले आराम से मन रखिपार। बहुत सिंपल लैंग्वेज रे लिखाई। ओके ओके, थैंक यू। सो लेट अस स्टार्ट। On examinations, what does the writer say about his intense dislike of examinations? The writer considered examinations quite discomfortable. It is because the examinations caused a lot of hardship for him in his 7-year stay at Harrow. Number 2, what reasons does the writer give for his not doing well in the examinations? Answer: the school examined on the subjects like Latin and mathematics, to which the author did not have a satisfactory answer. Moreover, the examiners always asked questions what he did not know. These were the definite reasons for the writer explain for his not doing well in the examinations. Who does the writer give the credit of his success in the entrance examination and why? The writer gives the credit from his success in the entrance examinations to the headmaster, Dr. Weldon. It is because the wisdom of the headmaster could only know that the author was worthy to be enrolled. What was the said spectacle for the writer? Question number 4. What was the said spectacle for the writer? Answer: the said spectacle for the writer was a blot and several smudges owing to tears that had fallen on the paper because he was unable to write the answers. Number 5. Why did the writer always have the greatest regard for Dr. Wilton? Answer: the writer always had the greatest regards for Dr. Wilton because he was a man capable of looking beneath the surface of things, and because he was not dependent on the paper manifestations. Passage 2 को जीवा चलो पिले। बर्तन पैसेज 2 आमर बहिर से गोटे रही पैराग्राफ पैसेज रही आम कर। Number 6, what was the unpretentious situation Spencer Churchill was in, and what was the immense advantage he gained over clever school fellows? Again, I read the question. Number 6, what was the unpretentious situation Spencer Churchill was in, and what was the immense advantage he gained over clever school fellows? Answer: Churchill was put in the 3rd division of the bottom firm of a year, which was an unpleasant situation. However, he had immense advantage of learning and acquiring a high degree of proficiency in English language, thereby gaining advantage over others. Number 7, how does the author rate English as a subject and Mr. Somerville as a teacher? Answer. The writer rates English as a subject quite high and considers it a noble language that helps people to earn their living. He admires Mr. Somerville as a wonderful student oriented teacher. What part of English grammar did the writer learn from Mr. Somerville? Question number 8. What part of English grammar did the writer learn from Mr. Somerville? Answer. Question number 8. The writer learned the art of English parsing. He also learned the components of English sentence, the parts of speech, clauses, conjunctive, disjunctive sentences. Number 9, question number 9. What was Mr. Somerville's system of teaching English language? What was Mr. Somerville's system of teaching English language? Mr. Somerville's system of teaching the English language was very technical and effective. It took a fairly long sentence and broke it up into its components by using different colors of ink on a daily intense practice basis. Question number 10. What made the writer learn English thoroughly? Question number 10. What made the writer learn English thoroughly? Answer. The intensive drill of the English language on a daily practice basis made the writer learn English thoroughly under the active guidance of his favorite teacher, Mr. Somerville. Question number 11. Why was the writer biased in the favor of the boys' learning of the English language? Why was the writer biased in the favor of the boys' learning of the English language? Answer. The writer was prejudiced in the favor of boys learning English language because English would stand them in good stead in their later life to earn bread for them. Passage 3. Question number 12. What did the writer do to the boy standing in a meditative posture? Answer. The writer saw the boy in a tower standing in a meditative posture in the very brink of the pool. He came silently from behind and pushed him, unwrapping his towel out of humanity so that it would not get wet. Question number 13. How did the boy react to the writer's prank? The boy, who was pushed in the pool, came with ferocious and fire strokes to the shore. He ran swiftly after the fleeing the author, hurling him into the deepest part of the pool. Number 14. What did the writer learn about Mary from the crowd of younger boys? The writer learned from the crowd of younger boys that Emery was in the sixth form. He was the head of the house, champion at the gym, and has got his football colors. What did the writer apologize to Emily for? Question number 15. What did the writer apologize to Emily for? Answer. The writer's action for pushing him into the pond was a blunder, he thought. He did not know that Emery was a senior student. He considered his size and inadvertently pranked him. That is why he wanted to apologize to Emery. Amberton second topic ku jo apele the portrait of a lady written by Khushwant Singh. 16 ନମ୍ବରକୁ ଆସ ପିଲେ। ମୁଁ ଟୋଟାଲି ଏଠି 57 ନମ୍ବର୍ସ କରିଛି, ପୁରା ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ସ, ଏବଂ ତାକୁ ଆମେମାନେ ବାରମ୍ବାର ପଢ଼ିବା ଏବଂ ମନେ ରଖିବା। ପିଲେ ଘୋଷିବା ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ, ବିକଜ ମୁଁ ବହୁତ ସରଳ ଭାଷାରେ ଲେଖିଛି, ତାଙ୍କୁ ଜମା ଘୋଷିବା ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ। ବାରମ୍ବାର ଶୁଣ ଏବଂ ଯଦି ପାରୁଛ ଲେଖ। ନମ୍ବର 1। ନମ୍ବର 2, ପଢ଼ିଲା ବେଳେ ଫ୍ରେଜ୍ ୱାଇଜ୍ ପଢ଼ ଏବଂ ପଜ୍ ରଖିକିରି ପଢ଼, ଦବେଇ ଦବେଇ ପଢ଼, ସୋ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ୟୁ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ରିମେମ୍ବର ୱେଲ୍। ବଡ଼ ପାଟିରେ ପଢ଼ ଏବଂ ଲେଖ। ତ ନମ୍ବର 16, what happened to the grandmother a day after the writer's return from abroad? Question number 16, what happened to the grandmother a day after the writer's return from abroad? The grandmother was taken ill the day after the writer returned from abroad. It was a mild fever and it would go soon. We came to know from the doctor's source, but the grandmother smelt that her death was nearer. How did the grandmother pass away? ବେଳେବେଳେ ପିଲେ ସ୍ପେଲିଂ ବା ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ୱାର୍ଡ଼ ମିସ୍ ହେଇଛି, ମୁଁ ତାକୁ ପଢ଼ି ଦେଉଛି, ମୁଁ ଠିକ୍ରେ ପଢ଼ୁଛି, କାହିଁକିନା ତାକୁ କରେକ୍ସନ୍ କରାଯାଇଥିଲା କିନ୍ତୁ ସେ ନେଇନି କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟର, ରାଇଟ୍? ତେଣୁ ମୁଁ ପଢ଼ିଲା ବେଳେ ଠିକ୍ ପଢ଼ି ଦେଉଛି, ୟୁ ଟ୍ରାଏ ଟୁ କରେକ୍ଟ ଦେମ୍। ହାଉ ଡିଡ୍ ଦ ଗ୍ରାଣ୍ଡ ମଦର ପାସ୍ ଆୱେ? 16, sorry, question number 17. How did the grandmother pass away? Answer, the grandmother passed away by lying peacefully on bed, praying and telling her beads. Her lips stopped moving in the end, and the rosary fell off from her lifeless fingers. A peacefully pallor came to her face, and she was dead. Question number 18. What, according to the custom, was done after the grandmother passed away? Question number 18. What, according to the custom, was done after the grandmother passed away? Answer. After the grandmother passed away, she was lifted off her bed as was customary and was laid on the ground. She was further covered with the red shroud, and after a few hours of mourning, arrangements were made for a funeral. Question number 19. How did the sparrows react when the author's grandmother passed away? Question number 19. How did the sparrows react when the author's grandmother passed away? Answer. The sparrows reacted in a very strange manner. Soon after the grandmother passed away, thousands of sparrows came and sat in a scattered manner on the floor. They did not even chirp, even when little crumbs of bread were thrown to them. They did not notice, but strangely, when the corpse of the grandmother was carried off, they left the place quietly. 20 question number. Question number 20. Next morning, the sweeper swept the breadcrumbs into the dustbin. What does this line imply? Answer. The grandmother's death had a profound influence on the sparrows. The sudden death of their beloved possum came as shock to them. They came, mourned, and flew away quietly, even without noticing the crumbs of bread thrown to them. That is why the breadcrumbs thrown to them were lying on the floor, and the sweeper swept them into the dustbin the next day. Passage 2. Why didn't the grandmother accompany the writer to the school in the city? ये पिले बिगिनिंग रु मु अकॉर्डिंग टू द इंपोर्टेंस मु सजाइछि पिले, तेणु एटा फर्स्ट यूनिट रे अछि. Why didn't the grandmother accompany the writer to the school in the city? Answer. The grandmother was no longer required to accompany the writer to the school in the city, as he went to school in a bus. Second unit pileda. Why was the grandmother disturbed about music lessons at the English school? Question number 22. Why was the grandmother disturbed about music lessons at the English school? The grandmother was disturbed about music lessons at the English school. She thought that music had lewd associations and also that it was a monopoly of prostitutes, beggars, and was not meant for a gentleman. Question number 23. What were the three ways in which the grandmother spent her days when the author went to university? Answer. The grandmother spent her days by spinning her wheel from sunrise to sunset. Along with this, she recited prayers and fed the sparrows in the afternoon when the author went to university. Question number 24. What was the happiest time of the day for the grandmother? Answer. The happiest time of the grandmother was when she relaxed her mind to feed the sparrows. She sat in the veranda, breaking the bread into pieces, and hundreds of little birds collected round her and created a confusing noise. Passage 3. Question number 25. What was the grandmother's routine in the village? Answer. The grandmother's routine in the village was waking the writer up in the morning and getting him ready for school. She would then accompany him to school, stay in the school attached to the temple, and walked back home after the school was over. Question number 26. How did the grandmother take care of the writer during his childhood? Was she a good companion of the writer in the village? Question number 26. How did the grandmother take care of the writer during his childhood? Was she a good companion of the writer in the village? Answer. The writer's grandmother used to wake him up in the morning and get him ready for school. She bathed and dressed him. She fetched his slate, being properly washed, tied a yellow chalk, an inkpot, and red pen in a bundle. She also fed him chapati and a little butter and sugar for breakfast. They both went to school and both stayed till the school was over. This depicts that the grandmother was a good friend to her grandson. What did the author and his grandmother do together? The author and his grandmother stayed together in their village home. She did everything possible to take care of her grandson. She made him ready for school, went to school with him, stayed there, and returned home together. Question number 28. Question number 28. How can you show that the grandmother was a religious person? Question number 28. How can you show that the grandmother was a religious person? Answer. The writer's grandmother was a religious person to the core. Her old age, her daily morning prayers during bathing her grandson, frequent visits to the temple, and reading holy books inside it, and above all, throwing chapatis to the village dogs shows to justify the fact. Question number 29. Why did the grandmother carry chapatis when they went to the school? What does this tell you about her? The grandmother carried several stale chapatis with her every day for the village dogs while she was taking her grandson to the temple. She threw the chapatis crumbs to the dogs who were following them on their way home. Such a thing bears ample testimony to the fact that she had full of love and compassion for animals. Passage 4. Question number 30. How did the grandmother see the author off at the railway station? Question number 30. How did the grandmother see the author off at the railway station? Answer. When the writer went abroad, his grandmother came to see him off at the railway station. She was so introvert that she did neither talk nor show any emotion except planting a kiss on his forehead. She was rather busy in beating her rosary and chanting the name of God. Question number 31st. How did the grandmother meet the author when he came back from abroad? Question number 31st. How did the grandmother meet the author when he came back from abroad? Answer. When the author came back from abroad, the grandmother reached the station. By the time the train arrived, the author observed that she was busy reciting her prayer in a murmured voice. She did not look even a day older. She embraced him, and most astonishingly, this time also, she did not talk. What were the happiest moments on the first day of the author's arrival? Question number 32. What were her happiest moments on the first day of the author's arrival? Answer. On the first day of the author's arrival, she was extremely happy inside. It reflected with her paying more attention to feed the sparrows for quite a longer time with her usual frivolous rebukes. Now, question number 33. Now, question number 33. How did the grandmother celebrate the author's return in the evening? Question number 33. How did the grandmother celebrate the author's return in the evening? The overjoyed grandmother collected a group of women of her neighbor, arranged an old drum, and started to sing for several hours till the members of her family persuaded her to stop her from restraining. Now, another topic we are going to, that is the magic of teamwork. This is also a very important topic for this year. It's written by Sam Petroda. Question number 34. What is the key problem affecting India's progress? The key problem affecting India is mainly implementation and not lack of policies. We have great ideas and policies about how to do things, but what we lack is, in fact, teamwork. What is the joke about the Indian and Japanese workers at the Maruti Suzuki company? Answer. The joke was that one Indian was equal to 10 Japanese workers. It was the beginning of the joke, as the Maruti company thought that Indians were dedicated, smarter, and more capable. But in the end, it changed that the Japanese were the role models for Indians. What is crab mentality? Answer number 36. What is crab mentality? Answer. Crab mentality is a metaphor referring to a basket of crabs. An individual crab can escape from inside the basket, but when it is in a group, others pull him down. Similarly, we in a group often try to pull down a group member who achieves success beyond the others out of envy. 37. What is the demerit of a hierarchical social system? Answer: we believe in hero worship. The demerit of our hierarchical system is that a senior person knows better than a junior one. This is not true in modern society. A young computer personnel may know better than a more senior accountant for any accounting problem. Question number 38. How can the right kind of teams be created? Answer: the right kind of team can be created when we understand how best to use a quality to obtain a desired effect of result. Question number 39. What seminar did the writer attend in the US and what was the object of the seminar? The writer attended an executive seminar for Rockwell International in the US. The objective of the seminar was to have strategic discussion among the senior company executives for a week. Question number 40. What did the participants do in the evenings? Question number 40. What did the participants do in the evenings? Answer: in the evenings, the participants broke out into five different groups of five people each. In the group workshop, someone had to delegate tasks. The next day, there would be different duties for each group member, and everybody cooperated the movement. Question number 41. If this were happening in India, what does the author mean by this? Question number 41. If this were happening in India, what does the author mean by this? Answer: by this, the author refers to the division of work in a team. In America, members in a team never considers them senior or inferior. Gladly, a senior secretary makes coffee for a junior manager. The author wonders if this could happen in India. Question number 42. How does hierarchy come in the way of doing a task in India? Question number 42. How does hierarchy come in the way of doing a task in India? Answer: while doing a task in Indian hierarchy automatically comes to our minds. Owing to this, we revolt for leading and following, that is, exercising and accepting leadership simultaneously, which is required in a group work. Question number 43. Who is said to be a good team player? Question number 43. Who is said to be a good team player? Answer: a person who commands respect for others, perseverance of different points of view, and willingness to give is said to be a good team player. Such a person has the ability to resolve conflicts without either egotism or psychophancy. Question number 44. What are the qualities of a good team player? Question number 44. What are the qualities of a good team player? Answer: being open, clear, and honest are the qualities of a good team player. Question number 45. What does the author mean by a hidden agenda? How does it affect teamwork? Answer: by hidden agenda, the author refers to split level consciousness of people. Such people say something but they mean the exact opposite. 46. What does a work ethic imply? What does a work ethic imply? A good work ethic means to say and mean the same thing. 47. What is split level consciousness? Answer. Split level consciousness is dual personality. Such people say something but mean the exact opposite. Question number 48. How did the errant employees react to his open criticism? Question number 48. How did the errant employees react to his open criticism? Answer. The errant employees reacted to his open criticism by saying that it was an insulting and humiliating affair. They urged that they should be told their inefficiency individually. 49. What was the author's intention of criticizing openly? What was the author's intention of criticizing openly? Answer. The author's intention of criticizing openly was for the benefit of all present in the meeting so that everybody could learn from the mistakes. Question number 50. What did the author learn about Indian attitude to criticism? Answer. The author learnt that Indians do not differentiate between criticizing an idea and criticizing an individual. Question number 51. What are the key elements of a team's success? Answer. The key elements of a team's success rests in how people in the team, whether they are stable, confident, secure, and comfortable. Question number 52. What affects team performance in India? Answer. Dichotomy and difference in respectability between physical and mental workers affects team performance in India. 53. How do diversifying tasks help workers? Diversifying tasks brings about radical change in the work culture of workers. It increases their self esteem and motivation. Thus, they become good team players. Question number 54. Why is it difficult to build teams in India? Why is it difficult to build teams in India? Answer. In India, hierarchy always comes to our mind. Nobody is prepared to play the second fiddle. It's difficult to find good losers in India. So, it is difficult to build a good team in India. Question number 55. How can working with diversity happen? Answer. Paramountly, India is a land of diversities. Unity in diversity is its unique features. One can work well with diversity if one has no personal costs and community interests. 56. What matters a lot for holding a senior position? Capability and expertise counts a lot for holding a senior position. And this is last for the prose part. Question number 57. What are the fundamental ideals in corporate environment? What are the fundamental ideals in corporate environment? The fundamental ideas in corporate environment are respect for others, openness, honesty, communication, willingness to disagree, resolution of conflict, and recognition of the fact that the larger goal of the team as a whole above individual or personal agendas. Thank you. ଆକୁ ଆମେମାନେ ଯେତେ ରିପିଟ୍ କରିବା ପିଲେ ଯେତେ ଥର ଆମେ ଶୁଣିବା ସେତେ ଶୀଘ୍ର ଆମେ ମନେ ରଖିପାରିବା ଓକେ ୟା ଭିତରେ କିଛି ସ୍ପେଲିଂ ମିଷ୍ଟେକ୍ ଅଛି ଆଉ ସେଗୁଡ଼ା ମୁଁ କିନ୍ତୁ କହିଦେଇଛି ଠିକ୍ ଠିକ୍ ଗ୍ରାମାର ମିଷ୍ଟେକ୍ ବି ମୁଁ କହିଦେଇଛି ତେଣୁ ତାକୁ ଶୁଣିକିରି ମନେ ରଖିବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବୁ। ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ।